Hello, everybody. My name is Graham Elwood, and you are watching the BAM Political Vigilante. We have talked a lot about Bitcoin and crypto on the show, especially we started talking on the show a lot about it in the summer of 2020 when we were neck deep in the pandemic and quarantine. And I said it's an excellent opportunity to, get out of the central bank rat race. And I've interviewed a lot of different people on this show. Rosie Tran, Christy I, Max Kaiser, Stacey Herbert have been on my show. And I've referenced a couple of Bitcoin and crypto shows. One of them was Bitboy Crypto. And he looks like a guy who's been in the crypto YouTube space for probably 5-6 years or so. And I don't know the man personally. I've never been on his show. He's never been on this show. So I don't know him personally. And I would watch his show along with Crypto Casey and The Moon. And I would watch Kaiser Report before it got pulled off of RT. And now I watch the Orange Pill podcast, which is basically just Max Kaiser's a Bitcoin maximalist, is what those people who only are into Bitcoin. And when I had Max on my show, Max and Stacey 2 years ago, he really explained to me the difference between Bitcoin and crypto and how crypto were like securities and Bitcoin was like gold, and really kind of changed my thinking. And I slowly changed my thinking into and really I've divested from some of these altcoins. I keep some of them, but mainly I've put more, I've cashed those out and converted more of them into Bitcoin. And Bitcoin is trading at about 26,000. I went down to El Salvador in June to see what it was like down there in a country that made Bitcoin legal tender. I had dinner with Max and Stacey. So I kind of know Max and Stacey. I'm not super close, but I know them and I like and I respect them. So I started to notice there was some sort of feud between Max and Ben, is Bitboy Crypto. And he created this whole Bitboy Crypto army and this whole looks like a huge business. I don't know the particulars of it. I know he got into some sort of altcoin projects and stuff like that. And he seemed like a lot of these crypto people, he bought Bitcoin years ago when it was, I don't know what he bought it at. I don't know how much he owns, but it seems like he bought it when it was dirt cheap, like a couple of bucks or maybe even 20 cents, whatever. So he owns a lot of it and he's invested in some other projects. But I noticed there was like a dispute online between Max and Ben, and apparently something happened at the Miami Bitcoin conference. I wasn't there. I don't know what happened. I can't comment on, but it seemed to me like this Ben guy it seemed like there was some erratic behavior. And again, I'm watching this purely as an observer and as a fan. Max Kaiser is pretty outspoken about Bitcoin is number one, and he refers to everything else as shit coins. Okay, fine. That's cool. I mean, and I've tried to impart, some of that knowledge to you guys. But what just happened today, I haven't been following this, because I've referenced his show in the past as like, if you want to, because you guys ask me, hey, what are some other YouTube shows that are exclusively talk about Bitcoin and crypto to watch and get more knowledgeable about this? The shows, so I've said these are the shows that I've watched, and Bitboy Crypto is one of them. So this just was announced yesterday, I believe, and again, I don't know the particulars, but I wanted to let you guys know that if this is what's happening at that show, you need to be aware of it. If you've been going to this show for any sort of Bitcoin or crypto information. So Bitboy Crypto, which I started following, I thought this was just Ben Armstrong's, but it's become such a big company. This is what they announced. Yesterday, BJ Investment Holdings, the parent company of Hit Network, took decisive legal action in removing Ben Armstrong from the company and specifically the Bitboy Crypto brand. Okay, so that is now news to me. I just thought it was a guy who had a successful YouTube channel. It turns out it grew so much that he created these companies that have whatever, CEOs, boards of directors, And this is what they said on their show.
Hello. Yesterday, BJ Investment Holdings, the parent company of Bit Network, took decisive legal action in removing Ben Armstrong from the company, and specifically the Bitboy crypto brand. This is a difficult decision, is a culmination of a prolonged substance abuse, as well as reconcile the emotional, physical, and financial damage is done to the employees of Bit Network and the Bitboy crypto community. The Bit Squad deserves better, and we're going to get through this together. We wish him the best and regret that it has come to this, and are hopeful for the future of Bitboy crypto. Bit Network is committed to empowering creators, and we will continue to do that every day.
Thanks, TJ. So, guys, this is a different day. It's a very serious time right now, but it's shocking for everyone, including myself. But I want you to know that if you're here for some Ben bashing, you're going to be disappointed. This isn't that channel, okay? Now is the time for unity for the Bit Squad. We're here for the Bit Squad. We've got a lot more to learn. We've got a lot more bear market to get through. So what this show is going to do every day, just right decisions, give you the best crypto information, be a little funny at the same time. So we appreciate all of you sticking around. We appreciate chat going absolutely bonkers right now. We love the Bit Squad. We're here for y'all all the time. We're not going anywhere. This is it's a time of change. We appreciate all of you staying positive, supporting us, supporting Ben through this time. And we're going to get into the show. And it's going to be me and Deezy for a little bit. He's going to rerun the show. We're going to talk about some crypto. Who wants to talk about some crypto this morning? Deezy.
Okay, so you know, and they reposted basically what they said. This difficult decision was a culmination of prolonged effort to help physical and financial damage he has done to the employees of Hit Network and the Bitboy crypto community. The Bit Squad deserves better, and we're going to get through this together. We wish him the best and regret it has come to this and are hopeful to. So, it's, you know, and you know, Max Kaiser posted this, like a scene from Casino. I simply wave my hand to security. Yeah. So again, I don't know what happened in Miami. I know it sounds like Bitboy, like Ben said something offensive or got in the face of Stacy, and that's what it caused, what was causing some of the problems in Miami. And again, just as a guy that's watched the show, I don't know Ben. I don't know anyone on his staff. I heard him allude to something about being sober, but if this is true that he's had a relapse, I can just tell you, if someone has a serious alcohol and drug problem and they get sober, which is great, and then they relapse, behavior can become really erratic, which would probably explain what's happened and what's going on in Miami. And again, I have no idea what's going on behind the scenes. I have no idea, as it sounds like, according to his organization, or formerly his organization, there's behavior behind the scenes that's been really problematic. So, you know, I don't, again, this is not for me to like really comment either way, because I'm not involved in this, but I just wanted you guys to know, if you've been going there as a resource for crypto information, it sounds like they're going to keep doing the channel with the, you know, he had these like guys, like co-hosts and stuff that would come in and do segments. And so, yeah, I mean, I guess I'll still keep watching the show and see what's going on in terms of like, they can offer some decent information. I'm becoming way more of a Bitcoin maximalist myself. But that just shows you what happens when drugs and alcohol get involved and someone has an addictive behavior and it gets out of control. And if you don't have a parent company that can step in, like what happened with this, obviously, and tell a guy he's got to step down, and it sounds like they're taking legal action. I've heard there might even be an indictment. Boy, I don't know. But if there isn't like a parent company, then you can just have one person that's completely out of control. And if there's a show where a bunch of people used to work on it and they don't work on it anymore, this is one of the things that addicts do, is they burn bridges and they're always getting a new group of friends or new drinking buddies. So it tells you, first of all, if you or anybody you know is having substance abuse problem, get sober, get into recovery. And one of the things you have to do when you get into 12-step recovery is you got to do steps 4 through 9. And I'm here to tell you, having worked on a show where there was the main person had a serious drug and alcohol problem and yelled at their staff, and many people have stopped working there. It's unfortunate. What you hope in the instance of Ben is, you hit a rock bottom and you get help and you come back from the rock bottom. That's what 12-step recovery is about. If you don't hit rock bottom and you surround yourself with people that just agree with you all the time, and you fire or make it so hostile for people that don't agree with you, so they all leave and you have no one, you deliberately surround yourself with everybody telling you you're great, you're great. And this is what happens when someone who's an addict starts making a lot of money and they hire people, and then the people around them are dependent upon that addict for money. They're less likely to call that person out for their behavior. So, yeah, someone in the chat said 4-step is brutal. 4 through 9 is no joke. Step 4, made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. Step 5, admitted to God, to ourselves, and another human being the exact nature of our wrongs. Step 6, became willing to have God remove our defects of character. 7, humbly asked God to remove our defects of character. 8, made a list of all persons we had harmed and became willing to make amends to them. 9, made direct amends to such people wherever possible, except when to do that would injure them or others. Those are not easy to do. And when someone is like, I'm always right, that's someone deep in their disease. So I don't know this guy, Ben, personally, but I hope he gets help. I hope he gets recovery. And I hope that show is able to keep going, because it was a resource that I used. I went to that show a lot. So I just wanted you all to know that if you were going to that show for any sort of resource, that's what's happening. So thanks for watching, everybody. Stay safe. Get help if you need it. The biggest act of courage you can do is walk into a meeting and say, I need help. Or walk into rehab and say, I need help. It's the most courageous thing you can do. And if there's somebody in your life that is actively using and they're making your life chaotic, I would suggest going to Al-Anon. And also, you don't have to put up with their toxic behavior, which it sounds like the people at Bitboy Crypto didn't want to put up with Ben's behavior anymore. You don't have to put up with it. You don't have to put up with it. And you don't have to cover up for it or to be in denial about it, because when you're around addictive behavior, it's either to cover up or there's a lot of denial happening. It's a lot of denial happening. So thanks for watching. Support what we're doing. Go to GrahamElwood.com. We got tour dates. One of the shows I'm doing, September 3rd, is a sober show where every comic on the show is sober and everyone in the audience is probably in some type of 12-step recovery. It's September 3rd at the Crow in Santa Monica. Tickets are at GrahamElwood.com. Shave your knuckles for justice. Boom.